That's our plan, you know. Their plans is their plans. Let them plan. I'm there to win the fight, and after the fight we can talk about everything else.
Israil Madrimov has made a bold declaration ahead of his fight against Terence Crawford, saying confidently that he will knock out Crawford.
Why does Israil Madrimov beat Terence Crawford?
This division, my division, big drama show. Я верю Аллаха.
This confident statement comes after recent developments where Crawford has been training with the legendary Floyd Mayweather and Andre Ward, a collaboration that caught the attention of all of us. However, this collaboration does not intimidate Madrimov at all, with his eyes already looking at a fight with another legend after he's done with Bud.
What can I say? Like pretty much like everyone else. Andrew Ward is another great fighter. So having him helping Terence, maybe gonna help him, maybe not. We'll see in the ring, you know. The ring will show who prepared, where, how, who helped, what's gonna help, what's not gonna help.
Madrimov isn't fazed by Crawford's decision to train with Mayweather or even Andre Ward. Instead, Madrimov views this partnership as an opportunity to showcase his skills against a fighter being groomed by one of the sport's greatest minds. I respect their legacy and what they have achieved, but when I step into the ring, it's just me and Terence. No amount of training can prepare him for the power and intensity I'm bringing, Madrimov said.
As well, I don't think he really respects Kurbanov. He hasn't. There's nothing coming back at him. He's
in trouble here, Kurbanov. The right hand's coming through. It's deep set. The summer.
There are now only days remaining to the fight, with Madrimov bringing an impressive professional record of 10-0-1, including 7 knockouts, into the ring. Crawford will be facing a younger and highly motivated opponent in Madrimov. The Uzbek boxer has been quite confident and determined that he will still be a tough opponent for Crawford, emphasizing that his power will be the decisive factor in the fight.
God, and God does everything at the time that it has to be done, and I'll do everything possible, what I can, to win this fight.
Madrimov's camp has been particularly focused on enhancing his punching power and speed, preparing him to deliver a knockout blow. I've been working on my conditioning and power shots, making sure that every punch I throw has the potential to end the fight, Madrimov explained. His training regime back in his camp includes intense sparring sessions, strength conditioning, and strategic drills designed to exploit any weaknesses in Crawford's defense. The news of Crawford training with the likes of Ward and Floyd are quite interesting. Mayweather, known for his defensive mastery and ring IQ, could impart invaluable tactics to Crawford, potentially sharpening his defensive game and strategic approach. This collaboration suggests that Crawford is not taking Madrimov lightly and is looking to add new dimensions to his skill set. However, Madrimov remains unfazed by these developments, asserting that his style and preparation are unique challenges that Crawford has not faced before. They can teach Terence all the tricks in the book, but the ring doesn't lie. My goal is clear: to knock him out and prove that I'm the best, Madrimov confidently stated. In preparation for the fight, Madrimov has also been sparring with various partners to simulate different fighting styles, including those that mirror Crawford's.
For my career, I am feeling good, great, you know. We are done training camp, really well.
This approach aims to ensure that Madrimov is ready for any adjustments Crawford might make under Mayweather's guidance. We've been studying Crawford's past fights, looking at his tendencies and preparing for all possible scenarios. I'm ready for whatever he brings, Madrimov said. Madrimov's emphasis on knockout power is a critical part of his strategy. And if we're being honest, he does make sense when he says he's bringing in the power in the ring, considering his gym body and his recent training videos. Understanding that Crawford has a reputation for being difficult to hit cleanly, Madrimov's camp has focused on timing and accuracy, looking to land significant punches that can turn the fight in his favor. The strategy revolves around creating openings through pressure and counterpunching, capitalizing on any momentary lapses in Crawford's defense. As the fight approaches, both camps are keeping their final preparations under wraps, maintaining a strategic silence about specific game plans. However, Madrimov's confidence suggests that he believes he has found a key to unlocking Crawford's defenses. "This is the fight where I show the world what I'm capable of. I'm not just aiming to win, I'm aiming to make a statement," he said. Despite having fewer professional fights than Crawford, Madrimov believes he has the experience and skills to win. Madrimov has a rich background in boxing, with over 300 amateur fights, including 200 in international competitions. He thinks this experience gives him an edge, even though he hasn't had as many professional bouts.
So overall, over 300 amateur fights, with 200 international fights. You know, I have experience being around the world, fighting all the styles and everyone.
He feels that many of Crawford's past opponents were not in their prime when they fought him, which makes Madrimov confident about his chances. Experience-wise, yes, I have 10 professional fights, but it's high quality. All 10 were WBA fights. All 10 were 12-rounders against stiff opposition, Madrimov shared with Ringside Intel. According to him, he is certain that he has faced a good level of competition, which he believes has prepared him well for this upcoming challenge.
Yeah, you know, it's a big opportunity for me, huge opportunity, and experience-wise, you know, yes, I have 10 professional fights, but it's a high quality. All 10 was WBA.
Madrimov continued to add to his power, comparing it to that of Gennady Golovkin, known for his knockout ability. He pointed out that Crawford, at 36 years old, is stepping into a new weight division at 154 pounds, which could be a big factor in the fight. Madrimov hinted that Crawford's age and inactivity, having been mostly out of the ring for the past year, might make this a particularly tough match for him.
Now check this out. This is Madrimov, who Terence Crawford is fighting on August 3rd. Let me tell you something. Crawford got his hands full.
"We have some things we've been watching. We're not going to talk about it right now," Madrimov said, suggesting that his team has spotted weaknesses in Crawford's game that they plan to exploit. He mentioned that many fighters seem to be mentally defeated even before they face Crawford, possibly due to his strong reputation and unbeaten record. However, Madrimov believes his mental toughness sets him apart, making him a formidable opponent for Crawford. Crawford's career, according to Madrimov, has been carefully managed, with his promoters selecting opponents that help build an impressive-looking record, but perhaps not as tough as it appears. Madrimov is determined to show that he can compete at the highest level and prove himself against a top-tier fighter like Crawford.
Of course, they have plans. Everyone has their own plans, and they're thinking ahead. You know what's gonna happen next, and this and that. I have my plans too. You know.
"I know what I'm capable of," Madrimov stated, emphasizing his self-belief and readiness for the fight. He sees this match as crucial for his career, his family, and his legacy. He's carrying the hopes of his homeland, Uzbekistan, which adds to the pressure but also fuels his motivation to succeed. For Madrimov, this is a chance to showcase his talent on a big stage and prove that he belongs among the elite in the sport. The stakes are high, and the anticipation is building as fans look forward to seeing what unfolds in the ring.
There's a reason Terence Crawford fans are uneasy about his upcoming fight with Madrimov. It's because now they decided to shut up and actually do their due diligence to research Madrimov, and they see that this man is a beast.
On the other hand, Crawford, a seasoned champion, will be looking to maintain his unbeaten record and demonstrate why he is considered one of the best in the sport. The dynamic between a rising star like Madrimov and an established champion like Crawford adds an intriguing element to this matchup. Madrimov's journey to this point has been marked by dedication and hard work. His amateur background has provided a solid foundation, but the professional ranks offer new challenges and opportunities. This fight against Crawford is a significant step in his career, and how he handles this test will be closely watched. As the fight draws nearer, the boxing community continues to speculate about the outcome. Madrimov's confidence and preparation suggest he is ready to seize this moment, but Crawford's experience and skill cannot be underestimated. It's a classic scenario of a young challenger facing a seasoned champion, each bringing their own strengths and storylines to the ring. In the end, the ring will reveal the truth. Both fighters have their own narratives and motivations, and on August 3rd, they will have the chance to write the next chapter in their careers. Fans from around the world, especially those from Uzbekistan who are rooting for Madrimov, will be watching closely, eager to see if he can deliver on his promises and claim a victory that could change the course of his career. As Madrimov himself said, the ring will show everything. Well, as for Crawford, he has been quite clear about his priorities. As we've been following up, we've seen him chasing after the fight with Canelo. However, in recent statements, he emphasized that his current focus is solely on the fight against Madrimov, dismissing any rumors or discussions about potential future matches, including one with the renowned Saul Canelo Alvarez. Crawford stated, "I'm not thinking about Canelo or any other boxer right now. All my thoughts are on August 3rd and the fight against Israil Madrimov. That's the only thing on my mind."
Elusiveness. I didn't fault people. That's elusiveness. So, it's just a part of me, dictating what I want to do in the ring and taking away the things that he liked to do.
This fight is significant for Crawford, as it marks his entry into the super welterweight division, where he aims to claim another title and further cement his legacy. Crawford's record speaks to his dominance in the sport, but moving up a weight class presents new challenges and opportunities. Israil Madrimov, the current WBA belt holder, is also preparing intensely for this fight. Madrimov recently captured the WBA title in a spectacular fashion, defeating Magomed Kurbanov with a 5th-round knockout on March 8th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This victory not only showcased Madrimov's power and skill, but also solidified his position as a rising star in the super welterweight division.
And especially the time that we spent together sharing the ring, and in training camp for Canelo together, I was part of it, so it's a huge motivation for me.
But it only gets interesting from here. While Crawford, with his impressive record of 40 wins and no losses, focuses solely on the task at hand, Madrimov has broader ambitions. Despite Crawford stepping back from a potential showdown with Saul Canelo Alvarez to concentrate on Madrimov, the young WBA belt holder from Uzbekistan has set his sights on Alvarez, seeing a potential fight with the Mexican superstar as a future goal. Madrimov, who entered the professional boxing scene 4 years ago, never specifically targeted Crawford or any other boxing legends as future opponents. Reflecting on his journey, Madrimov shared that he was not deeply engrossed in the professional boxing scene before turning pro. "Before I turned pro, I wasn't really watching all the professional fights. I'd only be watching big fights, but I wouldn't pay attention to all the fights," Madrimov explained to Ringside Intel.
It was at that time, and now, I know that it's all possible and we can do it, and that's what he tells me, you got everything and how to approach.
This perspective highlights his evolving relationship with the sport, from being a casual observer to recognizing the giants of the ring, like Crawford as he progressed in his career. When he finally began his professional journey, Madrimov started to appreciate the skills of fighters like Crawford. "When I turned pro, I started watching more of it, recognizing some of the greatest, and Terence was one of those guys. I never thought about fighting him or anyone else," he admitted. This statement showed a sense of respect and admiration Madrimov holds for established fighters. However, his aspirations were not initially focused on who he would fight, but rather on reaching a level where he could compete with the best. Madrimov's journey has been one of rapid ascent, culminating in this significant fight against Crawford.
Bud's he's slippery. Like Coach Red always say, swim without getting wet. I pay homage to a brother not seen right there.
While he acknowledged that facing Crawford was not a premeditated goal, the opportunity to do so represents a dream come true for the Uzbek fighter. "It's just, I appreciated watching him, learning things from him, and always dreaming about one day being on that stage and becoming a big boxing star," Madrimov continued. This dream is now a reality, as Madrimov steps into the ring with one of the sport's most respected figures. The potential implications of a victory for Madrimov are immense. Beating Crawford would not only establish Madrimov as a major player in the boxing world, but also elevate his status to that of a global superstar. Such a win would likely open doors to high-profile fights, including a possible bout with Canelo Alvarez, one of the biggest names in boxing today.
Opportunity to fight Canelo is a special one. I would love that one right after Crawford.
Madrimov is not shy about his aspirations post-Crawford. He recognizes that fighting the biggest names in the sport is a common dream among boxers, and he is no exception. Everyone's dream is to fight the biggest name fighters, and I'm thinking about the task ahead of me. Terence Crawford, Madrimov stated, keeping his focus on the immediate challenge. However, he also acknowledges the buzz around a potential Crawford-Canelo fight, suggesting that a victory over Crawford could change the conversation. Obviously, I see all the talk and people are talking about Canelo-Crawford. Maybe it's time to talk about Madrimov-Canelo, he added, indicating his readiness to step into even bigger arenas should he overcome Crawford.
Like, oh, Canelo Crawford, talking about those fights. Maybe it's time already now to talk about Madrimov Canelo. You're right. And after the fight, of course, I'm going to look for the biggest fights and opportunity to fight Canelo.
The thought of a Madrimov-Canelo matchup is interesting already. It represents a shift in the boxing landscape, especially considering the long-standing discussions about a Crawford-Canelo bout. Madrimov understands the significance of such opportunities and expresses a clear desire to pursue them. After the fight, of course, I am going to look for the biggest fights. The opportunity to fight Canelo is a special one. I would love that one right after Crawford, Madrimov concluded, outlining his future ambitions. The dynamics of the boxing world are ever-changing, and a win for Madrimov against Crawford could disrupt existing plans and narratives.
Is a special one. I would love that one right after Crawford.
It would place Madrimov in the spotlight, potentially paving the way for a showdown with Canelo Alvarez, which would undoubtedly be a blockbuster event. Such a fight would not only test Madrimov's skills against another elite boxer, but also significantly boost his profile and career trajectory. Now, originally, a fight between Canelo and Benavidez seemed to be on the cards, a matchup that many saw as a natural next step for Alvarez. However, negotiations hit a significant roadblock when Canelo reportedly demanded a hefty $150–200 million purse for the fight. The Saudi backers, who have been increasingly involved in financing big boxing events, were not willing to meet these financial demands, causing the potential showdown to fall through. And then as a result, Benavidez has moved up to the 175-pound division, leaving fans disappointed at the missed opportunity to see these two fighters in the ring. Canelo's decision to fight Edgar Berlanga, a younger and relatively less experienced fighter, has drawn mixed reactions. On one hand, it provides Canelo with a potentially easier fight, especially compared to the challenges posed by fighters like Benavidez. On the other hand, it has sparked criticism and concern about the quality of matchups Canelo is pursuing at this stage in his career. Turki Al-Sheikh, a key figure in the Saudi sports scene, voiced his thoughts on the situation. He emphasized that while he is willing to negotiate with Canelo, the demands must be reasonable. I'll give Canelo what I think is a fair price. If he accepts it, he deals directly with me to finish the deal, Al-Sheikh stated.
That Turki Al-Sheikh wants to make that fight early first quarter next year.
Crawford and Boots?
That sounds amazing.
That's what Eddie.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
Eddie
Somebody with that money.
Press conference.
We fighting Canelo, man.
He also expressed a desire to see a fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford, noting that Crawford has expressed interest in facing Alvarez. The announcement of Canelo's fight with Berlanga coincides with UFC 306, an event that is also part of the Riyadh season. This UFC event, headlined by Sean O'Malley vs. Merab Dvalishvili, is expected to draw massive attention, especially as it will be the first fight held at the Sphere, a new and state-of-the-art venue. The competitive nature of the UFC matchup, coupled with the novelty of the location, suggests that it may overshadow Canelo's bout in terms of public interest and viewership. Adding another layer to the situation, Canelo's decision not to face his IBF mandatory challenger, William Skull, means he is no longer the undisputed champion. This move has financial implications, potentially reducing Canelo's earning power since the allure of fighting an undisputed champion often commands higher purses. As Canelo approaches the latter stages of his illustrious career, his strategy seems increasingly focused on maximizing financial returns while minimizing risk. Having already achieved titles in 4 weight classes, Canelo's legacy is well established, though his recent choices raise questions about his current motivations and goals. Despite these dynamics, Canelo's legacy includes significant victories, such as his 3-fight series with Gennady Golovkin, which served as a major highlight following his only professional loss to Floyd Mayweather. However, his more recent defeat to Dimitri Bivol has shown that even a seasoned fighter like Canelo is not invincible.
So I feel that it was, often judges don't score things that perhaps, or they score things that perhaps they shouldn't. For example, I was blocking shots and I was rolling punches.
Looking ahead, a fight against Terence Crawford appears to be one of the few remaining big money matchups available. Crawford's team, including his trainer Brian McIntyre, believes that a fight against Canelo could be beneficial, especially if it happens soon after Crawford's bout with Israil Madrimov. McIntyre suggested that Crawford's current momentum and rhythm in the ring could pose a significant challenge to Canelo. Well, we could say that Canelo is avoiding Crawford, but with that, the idea that Madrimov is already looking for a Canelo fight makes this, well, more interesting. Perhaps Madrimov sees the fight with Crawford as just a simple task that he is already looking at Canelo. And Crawford, on the other hand, sees Madrimov as a tough opponent that he has already switched his interest from Canelo to focus on Madrimov, which then could communicate that Crawford is more focused on his fights or just a little intimidated by Madrimov. And we can't blame him. This physique would make anyone try to lock in harder. Well, do you think Madrimov will walk over Crawford? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more.